fancy, you're too fancy. At Jamaica Pegasus, you're too fancy. For Christmas comedy cook-off.
Friday, December 26th at the Jamaica Pegasus Hotel. Gates open 6 p.m. Showtime 7:30 sharp. Tickets at SpurOpen.com. Info 876-542-4160. Part proceeds support hurricane relief. Christmas comedy cook-off. Sponsored by KFC and Jamaica
At
Pegasus.
Jamaica Pegasus, you're too fancy. For Christmas comedy cook-off.
Need to estimate your duty? Perform a track and trace? Search for a declaration?
Then download the Jamaica Customs mobile app today. The time by the Jamaica Customs Agency is
12 p.m.
Welcome to CVM News at noon for this Christmas Eve, December 24, 2025. I'm Giovanni Dennis. Thank you so much for joining us. Residents of St. Anne are taking to the streets, protesting what they describe as an attack on their economic, environmental and recreational rights. At the center of the protest is Little Duns River Beach, which residents say is the only remaining free beach accessible to the surrounding communities. They're accusing the Urban Development Corporation, which manages the property, of fencing off and locking residents out of the beach, effectively denying generations of locals access to a natural resource they say belongs to them. President of the Jamaica Beach Birthright Environmental Movement, Devon Taylor, is now calling for urgent intervention, arguing that Jamaicans have a constitutional and cultural right to access their beaches.
By market vendors, by the taxi drivers, by just people of the community. We're having water problems in Davistown, in Steertown, in Chalky Hill, and this is where they would come and collect water. And the UDC fence it. There's a fellow Rastafarian brethren across there that grows his things and him come and catch water. If him try to access it right now, he's going to be ripped apart in the razor wires and the fence. Why is the UDC using razor wire in the fence? And I'm going to show you on the foreshore on the other side the use of razor wires. So I want you to ask our government the question. Why is there razor wire at the base and at the top of a fence, that a river that the Jamaican people should have access to? Makes no sense to us other than the government is trying to hurt its people.
And with Christmas shopping now in full swing, police in St. Mary are urging shoppers to be careful while shopping and traveling. According to Superintendent Anthony Wallace, who heads the St. Mary Police Division, the division has implemented visible and undercover patrols to reduce the risks of break-ins and enhance security for shoppers and businesses.
The 80-20 operational strategy, scaling down on administrative duties to place more police officers on the ground. This includes data-driven patrols, intelligence-led operations, major targeted activities focusing on the drivers of violence across the parish, and national coordinated roadblocks to secure borders and parish on a whole. We are also closely monitoring crash hotspots to reduce road fatalities while maintaining a strong police presence in all town centers. We also have both overt and covert patrols to deter break-ins and to protect shoppers and businesses. As you go about your shopping and festive activities, we urge you to exercise personal safety, protect your debit and credit card pins, avoid displaying large sums of cash, do not leave valuables in plain view, travel with a trusted family member or a friend whenever possible, and keep children close.
Christmas vendors in Halfway Tree say shopping has taken a significant downturn this season. They blame it on Melissa. Carla Ramdeen has the details.
The overcast conditions here in Halfway Tree is symbolic of the Christmas mood. Bleak. Vendors say sales in comparison to last year.
Last year was much better. This time last year, it was booming. But we all know about Melissa, and we all know that persons have greater needs than wants. Most of what I am selling is not needs but wants. So you know they're going to put their needs before their wants.
One vendor explained that shoppers simply aren't spending the way they normally do at this time of year.
Well, this year is a bit slow than usual because there's certain people coming out from yesterday, because I was out yesterday as well. I haven't been getting much sales, but we just keeping hope and our fingers crossed.
Another explains that she is selling her items cheaper because many shoppers need the reprieve.
Melissa, come and mash up Jamaica, you know, so we don't have to sale out now for the people. You know, people down in the country and things, them get damaged and things like that, so I have people coming around shopping for persons like that, so I mean it's a little cheaper and a little better.
Still, vendors are holding out hope that business will improve in the final days leading up to Christmas. But many admit that the financial hit from Hurricane Melissa has made this season one of the toughest in years.
As I said, I'm not giving up just yet. Just hoping and see what tomorrow brings. I would say sell off all my stock, but you know, I can at least break even to what I've spent to come out here this year. So if I come close near breaking even, then I give thanks.
Parlor MD, CVM News.
The Lame Magistrates Association of Jamaica is reminding justices of the peace not to charge for services. This following the recent arrest of a JP who allegedly accepted money to sign an official document. The JP, who operates in Manchester and Kingston, was held in a sting operation and is facing charges under the Corruption Prevention Act. The LMAJ says the individual is not a member of the association or the Manchester chapter. LMAJ President Lyden Trevor Heaven says the incident brings the office of the JP into disrepute, stressing that JPs are mandated to serve citizens with integrity and at no cost. He's urging all JPs to respect their commission and to protect the reputation of the office.
Our mandate and practice across all chapters across the island is to serve our citizens and communities with distinction and without charge. This latest act brings the association, the office of the duly commissioned Justices of the Peace, into disrepute. The association upholds the tenets of fairness and good order in the execution of our duties to the benefit of all citizens, the office of the Custodies, and the Ministry of Justice. We accept our commission with full knowledge of probity, good governance, and an unreserved willingness to serve.
In other news, as the United States rethinks its stance on cannabis, Caribbean countries like Jamaica are watching closely. According to Professor of Applied Macroeconomics and International Finance, Andre Houghton, the key question is whether those shifts create real economic opportunity for the region.
America, as it relates to their international trade, has been under heavy pressure from other giants like China, who dominate most of global trade now, most of global business and commerce. And America really want to reignite their economy in clever ways. And I think that this cannabis industry is one of them. As you quite rightly heard Trump say, the research is very terse. There is room for a lot more research. Much of that research has been done in Jamaica in many regards already.
And we take a break here on CVM News at noon. Stay with us for a live interview segment when we come back. Let's go now to news overseas. The Libyan Army's Chief of State, Mohammed Ali Ahmed al-Haddad, is among 8 people killed after a private jet crashed in the central Turkey shortly after taking off from Ankara. The aircraft was returning from high-level military talks in the Turkish capital. A Turkish official has told Al Jazeera that initial reports from the investigation indicate the crash was due to a technical failure.
This is where the plane's wreckage was found. The private jet carrying Libya's chief of staff went down near the town of Haymana, south of the Turkish capital, Ankara. The Falcon 50 business jet left from Ankara's Esenboğa airport for Tripoli on Tuesday evening. Shortly after takeoff, the crew reported an electrical emergency and requested an urgent landing. But contact was lost after that message. Ankara's airspace was briefly closed as emergency services were put on alert. Turkey later confirmed the wreckage had been located. Among the dead, Libya's chief of staff, General Mohammed Ali Ahmed al-Haddad, one of the country's most senior military figures. Also killed, the chief of staff of the ground forces, the head of Libya's military manufacturing authority, an advisor to the chief of staff, and a military photographer. Libyan Prime Minister Abdulhamid Dbeibeh confirmed the deaths, calling the crash a national tragedy. Libya has declared 3 days of mourning. In a written statement, Dbeibeh said delegation was returning from an official visit to Ankara, describing the loss as a major blow to Libya's military institution. Warlord Khalifa Haftar, the head of the parallel administration in eastern Libya, also issued a statement mourning al-Haddad. Images broadcast by Turkish media showed the night sky briefly lighting up near the crash site, suggesting an explosion at the time contact was lost. Turkish prosecutors have launched an investigation. The delegation had spent the day in Ankara for high-level talks on military and security cooperation.
The Office of Disaster Preparedness and Emergency Management, ODPEM, is reporting that as of December 22, there were 813 people still staying at 83 shelters. Now, with some of those shelters being schools, this has reignited the debate over whether schools should be used as shelters during disasters like Hurricane Melissa. Linton Ware, the principal of Old Harbour High School, which is used as a shelter, told CVM News this practice should end. But President of the Jamaica Teachers Association, Mark Malava, disagrees. Joining us now is disaster risk management expert and former head of ODPEM, Dr. Barbara Carby. Dr. Carby, what's the pros and cons of using schools as shelters firstly?
Well, good afternoon to all your viewers and to your team at CVM. We have many schools in many communities, so the network of schools is already a whole. Schools belong to the government, they are public buildings. So you don't necessarily have libraries and so on. They're available generally for events. So those are some of the pros. Of course, the most obvious con is that school ended as soon after an event as possible, so that the children can go back to their academic activities that would normally do at school. And sometimes it's a major event and shelter has to be prolonged, then of course that interrupts the whole delivery of the teaching experience.
Yeah. In your opinion, do you think schools should be used as shelters? I mean, we heard Linton Ware saying, it's significantly disrupting school operations. There's no additional funding for the schools when they have them as shelters. Do you personally think schools should be used as shelters?
It's optimum, but really for a really large people, they don't see explored, certainly going forward, and should be explored going forward. I mean, there are some options.
I'm so sorry, Dr. Kirby. What
look at having a street.
Dr. Kirby, I didn't hear that part because the internet is a little bit choppy, and I do apologize to our viewers. You're saying, what were you saying should happen going forward?
No, I'm saying we should look at alternatives going forward.
Okay. Okay.
So, let's look at some of the things that happen. Are you hearing me? Are you hearing me now?
Yes, it's a little better.
Are you hearing me now?
Yes, Dr. Kirby. Yeah.
So let's look at some of the things that could happen. I mean, you could have a structure on this school campus which can be accessed as a shelter without disrupting the academic curriculum. So you could actually have a large gymnasium or a large hall that you could shelter in the short term. And the location would be such that it would not disrupt the teaching learning experience of the students. The other possibility and offers to one of the community centers, which could be retrofitted for shelters. So most of them perhaps are
and on that point, Dr. Kirby, you just mentioned community centers. In the National Welfare and Shelter Plan, the government had said that community centers are also being designed as shelters. Do we need to go more in that direction, you think?
Yes, I definitely think so. And the advantage of the community center as well is that the community would have access to it in normal times. So the building would be used by the community and then it would convert to shelter after a disaster when sure.
Yeah.
Then and also that the time of these, because you find that persons who are in debt, they were taken in an emergency shelter with a clinic and so on for that.
All right, Dr. Kirby. Dr. Kirby.
To their homes.
Yeah. Sir,
yeah.
What you're saying is so important. We're just going to take a quick break and come back and try to sort the choppiness on the line. Viewers, we do apologize for the choppiness in the transmission just now with Dr. Kirby. We'll take a quick break here on CVM News at noon. When we come back, we'll hear more from Dr. Kirby.
My name is Fredrine Simpson, Public Relations Officer.
And I am Monique Bowen, Media Student.
On behalf of our Distinction College family, we would like to thank the entire Jamaica for making us the #1 City and Guilds ABE and CSEC private training provider in Jamaica.
We offer over 70 vocational, professional, and academic programs.
Start online and face-to-face classes in
geriatric, pediatric, psychiatric, and practical nursing, early childhood, childcare, phlebotomy, pharmacy, and medical lab technician,
housekeeping, food preparation, waitering, bartending, travel tourism, plumbing, motor vehicle electrical installation, AC, cosmetology, security,
customer service receptionist, supervisory, project, HR, and business management, CSEC, CAPE, and many more.
Registered for any program and get City and Guilds math and English classes for free.
Visit us in Kingston, Spanish Town, St. Elizabeth, Ocherias.
Call us 356-4167.
Happy holidays and a prosperous new year.
Get tiles and get creative with your floors, walls, and all the spaces in between. Our knowledgeable sales consultants are happy to help create your beautiful finish with the latest designs in first quality porcelain, wood look, vinyl, mosaics, natural stones, and countertops. At Creative, you will get every tile you need for your residential or commercial projects. Creative Building Finishes, your one-stop shop for everything tiles. Visit our showroom at 5 Red Hills Road or call 876-929-5553. Get tiles, get creative.
This Christmas, Benjamin's is bringing the flavor and the prizes. Win your share of over $1.5 million in rewards with the Benjamin's Flavor the Holidays promotion. From November 15 to December 29, spend a minimum of $2,000 on any Benjamin holiday bundle
for a chance to win instant prizes, weekly rewards, and grand prize giveaways. Scan the QR code in-store, WhatsApp 876-859-5651, or visit pabenjamin.com to enter.
Bake it, cook it, mix it. Benjamin's will flavor it. Authorized under Section 58 of the Betting, Gaming and Lotteries Act.
It's the Chris and Charles Merry Money Mania loan promotion. This Christmas, borrow big and win bigger. Get $1.5 million or $2 million in loans at special reduced rates, plus a chance to win your share of $1 million. And new customers get double entries.